It is one of the most talked about television appearances in recent memory. And finally, we have a taste of what was cooked up in the MasterChef kitchen when Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, stopped by.
The MasterChef kitchen has never been short on surprises, but this one takes the cake.
Is everyone ready? Here we go. I loved it. I loved watching all the guys hug and connect and just be proud of each other because they've all worked really hard.
The Duchess of Sussex is no stranger to cooking in front of cameras. Her TV series with Love Meghan is up for an Emmy. But setting a cooking challenge was a taste of something different.
All right, so you have quite the bounty here. Really wanted to do things that gives you something to play with. So you have, of course, some citrus, you have lemons, you have macadamia nuts, some beautiful local Australian honey, Brussels sprouts. My kids eat Brussels sprouts.
That's impressive.
There aren't many other parents who could truthfully say their kids eat Brussels sprouts, but there are probably plenty keen to see just how Meghan fares in the high-pressure kitchen, this close to the pointy end of the competition.
There is a lot of pressure in this kitchen. I don't like to cook that way. I like to cook in a really relaxed fashion. So all I could say to the competitors was to just remember to have fun, to keep a sense of humor about it, and to cook from the heart.
During a tour of the pantry, she spotted a Meghan signature item.
Some edible flowers.
Edible flowers.
Love that.
A wise contestant might include them, as Meghan often did on her show.
Flower sprinkles, if we must. It doesn't need to be big for a party. It's how you incorporate these practices every day. Food and cooking to me is really a love language. I think it's such a great way to connect. It's something that can feel sentimental and meaningful, and it's how I show my nurturing and love for my friends, family, and my kids.
Meghan's episode will be plated up this Sunday. Angela Bishop, 10 News.
There is a lot of pressure in this kitchen. I don't like to cook that way. I like to cook in a really relaxed fashion. So all I could say to the competitors was to just remember to have fun, to keep a sense of humor about it, and to cook from the heart.
During a tour of the pantry, she spotted a Meghan signature item.
Some edible flowers.
Edible flowers.
Love that.
A wise contestant might include them, as Meghan often did on her show.
Flower sprinkles, if we must. It doesn't need to be big for a party. It's how you incorporate these practices every day. Food and cooking to me is really a love language. I think it's such a great way to connect. It's something that can feel sentimental and meaningful, and it's how I show my nurturing and love for my friends, family, and my kids.
Meghan's episode will be plated up this Sunday. Angela Bishop, 10 News.
Since the Daily Mail decided to tweet out this article about how MasterChef Australia fans are livid, positively flummoxed over the Duchess of Sussex's surprise appearance, I thought I'd return the favor. While this is far from the most egregious example of Meghan being trolled and bullied online, it is an example of how this cottage industry of manufactured hate operates. The sourcing for this piece comes from a post on Facebook by MasterChef Australia announcing the Duchess of Sussex will be a surprise guest. Here's the proof. The research is Facebook comments. And you might look at that and say, wow, that's a lot of negative comments there. I don't know, man, I could do the same. People are thrilled if you go by these comments. So using Daily Mail logic, yes, I will be bleaching my brain with Clorox after this. Suddenly this tweet, Meghan Markle joins new season of MasterChef Australia and fans are positively livid. Quote, there goes your credibility right down the drain. Becomes, based on my sources, Meghan Markle joins new season of MasterChef Australia and fans are positively loving it. Quote, brilliant. I can't wait for this. Side note, it is so funny attacking credibility when you can't even spell her name right. Both of these pieces are nonsense. They're nonsense because we can't verify the sources. We don't know if those are real accounts. We don't know if they're even MasterChef fans. We have no idea. We do know that Facebook tends to skew older. So is this a good sample size? That's a rhetorical question. More accurate headline would read something like, Meghan with an H joins the new season of MasterChef Australia, and there is mixed reaction on Facebook. Not as good of a story though, is it? Before people are like, well, what do you expect from the tabloids? We know it's not just the tabloids that relies on certain sources and talking points to write an entire article about, I don't know, falsely accusing Meghan and the women of Grenfell of being tied to terrorism in a move that put everyone in this situation in danger. And it's these kind of narratives that persistently go on for over 10 years that create the very circumstances where, yeah, I think it's a fair claim to say that at one point you were the most harassed and trolled and bullied person on the internet. It's far more accurate than whatever this was.
What a breaking news, squaddies. Can we be real for a second? The episode hasn't even dropped and folks are already acting like it's the season finale. That's wild. One little promo, boom, the internet wakes up. X is talking, Facebook aunties are talking, YouTube creators are talking, entertainment shows are talking. Even the people who swear they are done with Meghan somehow found enough energy to write another 10 posts about her. Make it make sense. Here's the funny part. Every time somebody says nobody cares about Meghan anymore, the next headline pops up and guess who's trending again? Meghan. It's almost becoming a comedy at this point. You don't get this kind of reaction by accident. You can't buy this with a fancy commercial or a giant billboard. If that worked, every celebrity would be breaking the internet every weekend. They aren't. People are clicking because they're curious. Some want to cheer her on and some want to criticize. Some are just plain nosy, but they're all showing up. And that's the part that matters. Think about your own neighborhood. When everybody suddenly gathers outside one shop, what do the rest of us do? We don't walk away. We walk over and ask, what's going on over there? That's exactly what's happening here. Meghan's name has become that crowd on the street. People can't help themselves. They have to look. Meanwhile, MasterChef Australia must be sitting back with the biggest smiles imaginable. Imagine being the producers. Before the episode even airs, everybody is giving your show free publicity. Every reaction video, every headline, every debate, every social media post. That's marketing money you didn't even have to spend. Now that's a bargain. And let's give credit where it belongs. MasterChef Australia didn't pick a random celebrity out of a hat. They picked somebody they knew would get people talking. That's not luck, that's smart business. What's even funnier is watching the critics accidentally help the hype grow bigger. Every angry post, every dramatic thumbnail, every "I've had enough" speech. Congratulations, you just reminded thousands more people that Meghan is going to be on television this weekend. Oops. At some point you've got to laugh. If she was irrelevant, nobody would bother. No debates, no endless headlines, no countdowns, no reaction videos, just silence. But silence never shows up when Meghan does. Instead, everybody suddenly becomes a food critic, a television expert, and a royal commentator all at once. That's the Meghan effect. So before a single dish has been served, before the judges have tasted anything, before viewers have even settled onto their couches, Meghan has already turned one guest appearance into one of the biggest entertainment conversations of the week. Love her or not, that's a difficult thing to ignore. And judging by all this noise, Sunday can't come soon enough. Let's stop acting like television bosses wake up one morning and start pulling celebrity names out of a cereal box. That's not how this game works. These people are chasing eyeballs. They live and breathe ratings. If a guest can't pull viewers, they're moving on faster than you can say next. So when MasterChef Australia called Meghan, that wasn't some random Tuesday decision. That was business. Simple. People keep saying, why Meghan? I'll tell you why. Because she gets people talking. It's really that straightforward. Imagine owning a restaurant. You've got two chefs. One cooks great food, but nobody knows they're there. The other chef has a line wrapped around the block before the doors even open. Who are you hiring? Exactly. MasterChef Australia knows its audience, but it also knows how to bring in people who weren't planning to watch in the first place. That's the secret. Somebody who normally spends Sunday watching football suddenly says, hang on, Meghan's on tonight. Click. Somebody who hasn't watched MasterChef in years suddenly wants to see what all the fuss is about. Click. Even the critics who swear they're refusing to watch somehow end up knowing every single detail the next morning. Now, how did that happen? Come on. The producers saw this coming from a mile away. People act like television is all about feelings. It isn't. It's numbers, views, buzz, conversations. If your phone won't stop showing clips, articles, memes, and reaction videos about one guest appearance, guess what? That's money. That's attention. And attention is gold in television. What's funny is that some people keep trying to convince everyone Meghan has lost her shine. Really? Then why are so many people losing sleep over one cooking show? If she wasn't a draw, nobody would be writing think pieces before she's even walked into the kitchen. Nobody would be counting down to Sunday. Nobody would care. But here we are. MasterChef Australia didn't need rescuing. It's already one of the biggest cooking competitions on the planet. That makes this decision even more interesting. A successful show looked around and said, who can make this episode even bigger? Their answer was Meghan. That tells you everything. This wasn't about royal titles. It wasn't about old palace stories. It was about finding someone who could light up the conversation before the opening credits even rolled. And guess what? Mission accomplished. The internet has already done half the advertising for them. People arguing, people cheering, people making predictions, people saying they're not interested while commenting under every single post. That's free promotion with extra seasoning. You almost have to laugh, because the same people trying to downplay Meghan keep proving exactly why producers wanted her in the first place. She gets attention, real attention. Not the kind you fake with a flashy trailer, the kind that makes ordinary people stop scrolling, tap the video, and say, all right then, let me see what everyone's talking about. That's why MasterChef made the call. And judging by the noise already building, they picked the right person.
You ever notice how some people keep trying to drag somebody back into their old chapter? That's Meghan. Every time she launches something new, somebody pops up saying, yeah, but what about the royal family? Meanwhile, Meghan's over there like, I'm trying to cook, relax. Seriously, look at what's happening. We're talking about MasterChef Australia, food, fun, recipes, people laughing in a kitchen. And somehow, there are still folks trying to turn it into Buckingham Palace, the cooking edition. Come on now. Here's what I see. Meghan isn't waiting around for someone else to decide what her next move should be. She's picking her own lane. One minute she's producing content, the next she's building businesses. Then she's working on lifestyle projects. Now she's stepping into one of the biggest cooking shows on television. That's called moving forward. Regular people understand this better than anybody. Think about someone who quits a job they hated. They start a small business, learn a new skill, find a career they actually enjoy. At first, everybody keeps bringing up the old job. Then one day, nobody can ignore the fact they've built something new. That's the energy Meghan is giving. She's not trying to replay yesterday. She's creating tomorrow. And honestly, that probably annoys some people more than anything else, because it's easier to criticize someone who's standing still. It's much harder when they're busy doing something different every few months. Look at the conversation now. People aren't only talking about royal headlines anymore. They're talking about television, entertainment, lifestyle, business, creative projects. That's a completely different scoreboard. The funniest part, some critics are still acting like she's trapped inside a story she walked away from years ago. Meanwhile, Meghan is collecting new experiences while they're still arguing about old chapters. Who's really stuck? Exactly. And let's give the woman some credit. It takes guts to keep trying new things when you know every move is going to be picked apart before you've even started. Most people would hide. Most people would play it safe. Meghan keeps showing up anyway. That's confidence. Not because everybody agrees with her, because she refuses to let other people decide who she gets to be. That's something regular people can relate to. We've all had somebody who wanted to keep us inside the little box they built for us. The old you, the version I remember, the version I liked. Life doesn't work like that. People grow, people change, people try new things. And if somebody's still introducing you with a story from 5 years ago, that's their problem, not yours. MasterChef Australia feels like another reminder of exactly that. This isn't about proving anything to the palace. It isn't about chasing approval. It's about building a life that actually reflects who she is now. A woman exploring different opportunities, taking creative risks, and refusing to be boxed into one headline for the rest of her life. Whether people clap, whether people complain, she keeps moving. And that's probably the biggest reason people can't stop watching. Because every time they think they've figured Meghan out, she serves something completely different. Food doesn't care who you voted for. It doesn't care where you come from. It doesn't care if you're rich, broke, famous, or just trying to make it to payday. Everybody gets hungry. Everybody has that one meal that reminds them of home. Maybe it's your grandma's Sunday lunch. Maybe it's that chapati your mum used to make. Maybe it's the barbecue where the whole family argued over who burnt the meat. That's real life. That's why cooking shows never get old. People think they're watching recipes. They're not. They're watching memories. They're watching families laugh. They're watching strangers become friends over a plate of food. That's the magic. And that's exactly why Meghan feels like such a natural fit here. Did you hear what she told the contestants? Have fun, keep a sense of humour, and cook from the heart. That's it. No complicated speech, no trying to sound like the smartest person in the room. Just relax, enjoy yourself, put some love into what you're making. Honestly, that's how most of us were taught to cook anyway. Nobody's grandmother ever handed over a recipe and said, "Right then, today we're chasing perfection." No, they'd say, "Taste it, add a little more. If it looks good, serve it." That's cooking. It's messy, it's loud, somebody steals a chip before dinner, somebody forgets the salt, everybody laughs about it years later. That's what people connect with. And watching Meghan in that kind of environment feels refreshing. For once, she's not standing in the middle of another royal argument. Nobody's counting who walked behind who, nobody's measuring balcony positions, nobody's arguing about palace protocol. Instead, she's smiling, she's talking about food, she's encouraging people. That's a nice change, isn't it? Life is already stressful enough. Bills don't stop coming, traffic is still terrible, your boss still sends emails 5 minutes before you're supposed to clock out. Sometimes you just want to switch on the television and watch people cook something delicious without the whole world starting another family feud. That's why this appearance feels different. It feels lighter, warmer, more relaxed. And maybe that's exactly what people have been waiting to see. Not because Meghan suddenly became someone new, because viewers are getting to see another side of who she already is. A side that enjoys creativity, a side that likes bringing people together, a side that's perfectly happy swapping palace headlines for kitchen conversations. And honestly, I think regular people understand that better than anyone. At the end of the day, most of us aren't trying to impress the world. We're just trying to gather the people we love around one table, share a good meal, have a laugh, and make a few memories worth talking about later. If a television appearance reminds people of that, then it's already done something special. And judging by the excitement building before the episode has even aired, plenty of people are ready to pull up a chair, grab a snack, and enjoy seeing Meghan simply be herself. Sometimes that's more than enough. Thank you all for watching. I am your host, Miles. Catch you all in the next video. Goodbye.